Are you an empath who's tired of feeling so guilty about saying no to someone? Well, then this video is for you, as we'll explore how you can actually use that guilt for good to help you on your spiritual journey. Hello, darling soul, and welcome. I'm Carolyn, and I partner with horses to help you, the empath, get out of your head, into your heart, and awaken to your true power. If you want to say no to something or someone, but you just feel so guilty about doing it, there is a way to allow that guilt to actually serve you so that instead of keeping it locked inside you and letting it feel like a weight on top of you, and thinking that the only way to get rid of that awful feeling is to just say yes, you can instead let it take you deeper into understanding yourself. And that starts with understanding a little bit about how the human brain evolved and why empaths especially can be particularly susceptible to feeling guilty about setting boundaries and saying no. The first thing you have to do in order to say, no, I'm not available for that, without it dripping in guilt, without it turning your stomach into knots at the mere thought of turning down someone's offer, someone's request, or worse, someone's silent expectations from you. The first thing we have to look at is where the heck all this guilt is coming from. As I discussed in my previous video, the feeling of guilt often comes from an even deeper root emotion of fear. Fear of not being liked, fear of upsetting people, fear of letting people down when they need you. And then once you have a look at those sources of fear, you can actually take it even deeper and ask, where do those fears come from? As humans, we have it ingrained in us over thousands and thousands of years of evolution to desire belonging. When we belong to a tribe, we have a greater chance of survival. And horses are exactly the same way. A group of horses or a group of humans are more powerful against predators and environmental threats. It's a strength in numbers kind of thing. So fast forward to today, and even though we are in this modern world that promotes rugged independence, we've actually been in this world for a much shorter amount of time than we spent being tribal beings, where we were already naturally part of a community. It's something that you were born into. You didn't have to go out and find it on social media or meetup groups. So we have this very strong, very present urge under everything we do to belong to the tribe, which means we will do whatever it takes to not get kicked out of the tribe. And so this required us to kind of suppress our own desires and our own authenticity for the sake of the group. We just wouldn't have fared very well to say, it doesn't really align with me to go that way, as the tribe moved away from the saber-toothed tiger's den. Or it doesn't really feel true for me when the tribe said, believe this or burn at the stake. You get the idea. But the wonderful thing about this time of great awakening, this time of expansion of our collective consciousness, where old ways of thinking and being truly no longer serve us, is that the exact opposite is now required. We need to now access and embrace our own authenticity, to really allow that to rise up from our depths for the benefit of the group. We can no longer operate from strength in numbers. We are ready to move towards numbers of strength. So moving this macro philosophical lens, which is where I love to go, into everyday practical action. What does this mean for us as we move about our lives feeling the pressure and the expectations that come at us from the outside, from the tribe, from family, friends, or relationships, where we feel like we should say yes to all those expectations and demands. But gosh, there's that little voice, that little whisper deep inside of us that really wants to say no or needs to say no for the sake of your own well-being. Your inner knowing knows that there's an incongruency between what's being asked of you and what you truly want. This is what I call the battle of the head and the heart, and why I always say get out of your head and into your heart, because the head thinks about what we should do, but the heart knows what it wants. And it's not wanting from a selfish ego place, because that's of course up in the mind as well. But I'm talking about a wanting from a place of deep soul desire, a place of truth and authenticity. So the battle of thinking and shoulds versus knowing and desires is where this guilt arises from. And it's exactly why this guilt can become so present for those of us who are seeking a more expanded way of being, seeking a more soul-informed, soul-inspired life. Because especially in the earlier phases of your spiritual development, you really have to go against that thousands and thousands of years of programming, and underneath years and years of your conditioning in your own lifetime. You really need to kind of turn everything on its head, where suppressing myself serves the group, to the group is served by allowing myself to expand and awaken to my true self. You need to literally flip your own head and heart hierarchy, where the knowing heart leads the thinking, practical mind, where the head doesn't suppress the heart, it serves the heart. And because this isn't yet the collective way of being, this soul journey can be lonely. That guilt is that primal force saying, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm doing something wrong. I'm going against the unwritten rules, and this could be dangerous. It's dangerous not to belong. But if you can just soften to this discomfort, even if it's coming from the external, from people's disappointments that you're not doing what they think you should be doing, then you can allow that guilt to guide you back to yourself, to guide you to an even deeper, more pure sense of belonging, which is belonging to yourself first. And from there, you can circle back to belonging to the tribe in a much more meaningful way that doesn't come from a place of grasping, like, please don't kick me out or leave me, I'll do whatever you want, but from a place of pure giving. I can give and share with you because I already belong. And so I don't need to work so hard at earning it and feeling guilty if I'm not working hard enough. And when I let go of the exhausting work of chasing something I already have, then my energy is freed up to be an even bigger and brighter source of love for those around me. I hope this video helped you see that if you get really curious about your guilt, instead of just sitting on your shoulders, you can trace it back to a place of connecting with your own belonging and power. If you'd like to learn more about how to say no without feeling guilty, then my upcoming program, Beautiful Boundaries, might just be for you. You can click on the link below to sign up for the waitlist and be notified first when the course opens up. Now, I'd love to know, what would it feel like for you to let guilt guide you towards belonging to yourself first? Let me know in the comments. I really, really love hearing from you. And if it's community you're looking for, then be sure to join my Facebook group, The Gentle Warrior Collective, to find support from big-hearted empaths just like you. And as always, if you received any benefit from this video, please show it some love by giving it a like and clicking subscribe so I may continue to create more videos to support you with getting out of your messy head, back into your heart, and awakening to your true power. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.